my lord, do we have something special for you today? Hello and welcome to, I guess it's not a return, I guess this is the first sort of free video I'm putting out this year. Hello, I hope 2021 is going a lot better for you than 2020 did so far. I know we've had a few hiccups, but on the whole, it's a generally uptick in mood. Yeah? Maybe not. Anyway, today I wanted to create a showcase video. I've been doing this on the blog. I've been gathering people's materials around the Return to Istvaan project. The amount of hobby that's being produced off the back of this, really fine quality, good quality work, it's just something I wanted to display to a wider community. And I've contacted a few people who seem interested in developing a sort of Tale of Four Gamers sort of thing. And David Taylor, I'm delighted to say, replied back with these breathtaking images. A feast for the eyes, the soul and the fingers. Because we paint, you know. A metaphor didn't work there. Anyway, David Taylor, he's been a long-standing patron of mine for a while now. It's been my immense pleasure to watch his skills grow, seemingly brushstroke for brushstroke, using those fingers. I'm determined to make it work. Here in these photos, he's really flexing. So, David, go full peacock. Let's show your plumage. Now, this article was written by David Taylor. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get him to narrate this, so I'll read out his words. I'm not going to do an accent. So, I first started to see the hashtag Return to Istvaan being used midway through 2020 on Little Legends video tutorials, then later on Instagram. I didn't really pay much attention at first, as I'd been focused on Warhammer Fantasy at the time, and to be brutally honest, I wasn't that interested in Heresy at the time. However, the more I saw the incredible work being produced, the more enthused I got. There's just an outpour of amazing armies, miniatures, painting and general artistry. I needed to be swept up in this myself. With my interest piqued, I wanted to create a Sons of Horus Assault Marine, as a bit of a casual Sunday hobby, just to satisfy the itch. After completing the Marine, I posted up to my Instagram, and the first comment came through, "Love it. Why not create an army?" This was Little Legend. At first, I dismissed it, saying, "No, I didn't have the time, I want to pursue other projects. I'm pretty sure Miles gets kickbacks from Forge World, etc. I wish I did, I would be a thousandaire." This was mid-November, and I knew the deadline was December 1st. So a little interjection here. When this challenge was first created, December 1st was the challenge deadline. To give us something to move towards, this challenge was created after the first lockdown was announced, and time got a little bit wibbly wobbly. So having a challenge, having a very definitive timeline to get something done by, we felt as a community was worth it. But that deadline has since been moved on. So we are extending it to December 2021 with hopes of organising events at Adepticon and in the UK to recreate the climatic battles of Book 1 Betrayal and Book 2. Anyway, back to the article. But the seed had been sown. My mind went into overdrive. Should I paint Sons of Horus? Should I paint Emperor's Children? What should I paint? I checked the backlog of miniatures. I had more than enough to get the project started with a big baggie of Sons of Horus torsos, shoulder pads, helmets from an abandoned project years ago. How many of us have those little baggies hanging around? I'm sure I could start every legion just with spare stuff I've accumulated over the years. My return to Istvaan journey had begun. So why Sons of Horus? Well, since discovering the Horus Heresy, they had been a legion that I wanted to paint and collect. They were the first legion I was introduced to in Horus Rising, and Horus was the first Primarch I painted for Forge World, and I painted a few squads throughout the years, but never really had a fully playable army. The project was the perfect opportunity to build the army I've always wanted. Now, when it comes to building an army or building a legion, the first thing I do is look at the models. Do I think they're cool? Yes. Then I'll go to check out the paint jobs. Instagram is a filthy place for this. Not only do you get bags of inspiration, but you end up buying way more than you intended to. Just the amount of inspiration that you get through it, and hashtags especially, perfect. After that, I'll read up on the black books, through the novels and Black Library. I've fallen foul of being stoked on new models and paint jobs, but the Legion itself just doesn't capture my imagination. Leads into a project abandonment. With the Suns, I was already hooked. I like the miniatures, I like the lore, and there's plenty of amazing armies out there for inspiration. So I jumped onto Quartermaster and started drafting a few lists. The idea was to have a force playable in multiple point values from 1,000 points all the way up to 3,000. And Davies very kindly supplied a 1,000 point list, which includes a Delegatus, Black Reaving Rite of War, Artificer Armor, Plasma Pistol, Power Weapon, Axe, Mastercrafted and Jump Pack, a Master of Signal, 10 Space Marines, 10 Reavers, 10 Reavers, and a Quad Launcher Rapier Carrier, and that comes in at 997. So small footprint, very achievable. And that's what I found personally, so this is Miles talking here, that's what I found personally about collecting this army, because it's such a small army, it's such a small footprint. I get that serotonin hit immediately, that when I complete a unit, it's not just a unit in a much wider army, it comprises nearly like 50% of my force just from that one unit. And you're able to, well, when we're all out of lockdown, we're able to play games again. So, back to David. Sons of Horus Green is tricky, but there are many variations of it. There's just so many variations of it. I've tried several times over the years to crack it, but for whatever reason, never quite got a version I was happy with. It was one of the main reasons I didn't do them in my first pass round, and why I went for Death Guard. For this project, I was fortunate enough to get help in the way of Miles's Sons of Horus Masterclass series, which you can find right now. So it's $15. You get access to absolutely all tutorials put up on there, but more specifically on the Sons of Horus, and it also includes Death Guard, Emperor's Children, and most, not all, but most of the Istvaan 5 legions as well. So if none of the Istvaan 3 legions quite scratches your itch, well, let's move on to Istvaan 5. And Christopher's Dawn's Arrows painting guides. These have been the two biggest inspirations putting together this scheme, and I've drawn influence from both of them and mashed them together into my own style. For the basing, because the army is set of Istvaan 3, I decided to take the easy route and went for Unreal Wargaming bases. I had thought about making my own, but I'm really happy I didn't. They're awesome and a lot easier and quicker than making your own. Painting wise, I used washes of greys and touches of greens, purples and browns to create a rubble strewn street of Istvaan 3. When theming an army, I always return to the lore. Tiring of the drawn-out conflict Istvaan 3 is becoming, the War Master tasks Abaddon to form a spear tip and break the deadlock. As the army evolves, I'll be adding Abaddon and his Justarin in keeping with the narrative events that played out. I've also got some jet bikes and a javelin. I'll be painting up alongside the Contemptor to bulk the force up to 1500 points. The end goal here is to be able to play the missions through book 1 and 2 with the prospect of a gaming weekend at Warhammer World. Hopefully. It's something that gets me really excited for this project and keeps me motivated moving forward. We are in talks with a couple of event organisers for getting events in the UK centred around Return to Istvaan, and we are in talks for Adepticon, but we can't definitively nail anything down at the moment because of COVID. As soon as the rules start to firm up, as soon as we know what is happening, we'll start to promote, we'll start to firm up project ideas. But yes, the intention is very, very firmly to have an event in the UK and an event in America for the Return to Istvaan challenge. The photos that you see up were inspired by the 30k channel's excellent setting the scene videos. It's been tremendous fun to play with the lights, generating an atmosphere for my work. And that is David's army. Let's just take a couple of moments to just luxuriate on these images. They're just so good. They're so atmospheric. When you paint miniatures, I'm sure you're the same, that you kind of start imagining who these people are or were, what influences they had in their lives to lead them to make the decisions that they're making. Loyalist, traitor, whatever. Now these photos up on screen, they tell a story. You don't really need to know anything about the story. You just know there is a narrative being told here. And this is something that I think we should all aspire to. And it's achievable. It's very achievable. It just needs back-breaking labour to achieve it. No, it just needs a little bit of discipline, some good project management, and the ability to not get distracted. As easy as that. Well, I want to thank David. Thank you very much, David Taylor, for submitting this. It's been a really pleasure to go through this and read through it. My hope is that we'll have follow-ups from David on his force, how it develops, the challenges that he meets, and hopefully we'll get something going with actual gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know, because we do have I think it's 3 articles up on littlelegendstudio.com under the Spotlight series that do cover the other hobbyists' work, talking through what they did, inspirations, and how they went about creating their armies. If you'd like to see videos on this, please let me know, because it's been fun reading through it and shining a light on what is one of the best parts of best parts of being involved in the Games Workshop hobby, being involved in the Heresy community. Just this outpouring of very top quality work. So thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next video.